by interlacing your fingers behind your head. We're taking cat-cow seated, so inhale, lift the chest to the ceiling, and exhale, round the back, so you're pushing through the shoulder blades. Inhale, lift through the chest, and exhale, round. And bring your hands to your knees, repeat that. Inhale, lift, exhale, round. Inhale, lift, exhale, round. And then come to a neutral seated position, so you're lifting through the spine, and you're just going to take 2 circles of the hips. So circling to the right 2 times, and then circling to the left. You're just moving the torso, you should feel this in your hips. Okay, and then come over onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers really wide, your wrists are underneath the shoulders and your knees are underneath your hips. And we'll take cat-cow again. Inhale, soften the belly, send your gaze forwards and arch your back. Exhale, send your gaze to your belly button and push through the shoulder blades. One more, inhale, lift, and then exhale, round. Then come back to neutral, start to walk your hands forwards, and you're going to release down onto your forehead for your puppy pose. So lovely stretch in the shoulders and the chest here. Make sure that your hips are right over your knees if you can, and your tailbone is kind of lifting up. And one more big breath. And then start to walk the hands back around. And then tuck your toes and push up into downward facing dog. Send your hips nice and high away from the hands. Remember, you can come up onto the tiptoes and bend your knees so you get that length in the spine. That's what's most important. And then start to paddle out the feet. So bend one knee, then the other. And you can start to sway the hips as well so you get that lovely stretch. And bring your feet together, float the right leg to the ceiling. Bend your knee and open your hips. So you're stacking the right hip on top of the left. So open this, think of dog against tree, so really open the hips. And then circle your ankle one way and then the other. And then place that foot down. Swap over. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. And exhale, bend the knee and stack your hips. And circle the ankle again. One way and then the other. And then come back to your downward facing dog. Come to your tiptoes. And you're going to take little baby steps to the top of your mat. Bring both feet so they're outside of your hands. You're sinking down into a malasana, a yogi squat. So you keep your spine long, your tailbone lengthened down and your chest lifted. You can use your elbows to guide the inner thighs out. Make sure your knees are over your toes so they're not knocking in. And bring your hands down. Start to straighten the legs and bring them so that they're hip distance apart. And take a ragdoll. Bend the knees here again and just watch where your bump is. So always trying to find a bit more space for the bump. So if you need to kind of lengthen the spine rather than round, then do that here. And release the hands down. Walk the hands to the left. And you're going to push the hips to the right. So you should feel this in your outer right hip and the right side of the body. So it's a really lovely stretch. And then walk the hands over to the right and then push the hips to the left. Again, feeling it around the outer hip, but also finding a little more space in the left side of the body. And coming back to center, bend your knees, tuck your chin in and slowly curl up vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, fold all the way down. So hinging at the hips, finding length in the spine. Inhale, lengthen to your flat back. Exhale, hands down. Step the left leg back, low lunge. So you're lowering onto your left knee, sweeping the arms above the head. Sink into the hips, but at the same time you're pressing down through the right heel and the top of the left foot so that you're getting that extra stretch in the left hip flexor. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down and step back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, float the left leg up and back. So same leg again, left leg. Exhale, step in between your hands, low lunge. Lower the right knee down, sweep the arms up, sink into your hips. Soften the shoulders away from the ears and try not to arch the back. Lift the chest up, move the chest slightly forwards. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down, tuck the back toes under, step forwards into your forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chin to chest, curl up. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down. Step the right leg back, low lunge. Lower onto the right knee. Lift the arms above the head, you're sinking into the hips. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands down. Step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts up and back. Exhale, step in between your hands, low lunge. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step the left leg forwards, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chin to chest, curl up. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands down and step back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, float the right leg up and back. Exhale, step in between your hands. Bring the left heel in and you're opening out to your warrior two. So this is a really lovely pose for your hips, also keeping your legs really strong. It's supposed to make you feel really strong and powerful as well and ready for labour. So that right knee right over the ankle and the back toes are pointing more to the front than the back of the mat. Lengthen out the back leg, soften the shoulders away from the ears. Can you sink a little further into the hips? And flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back. Reverse your warrior, soften the left ear down. Inhale into the right side of the body. Exhale, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. You're opening through the chest, just sinking into the hips. Let's repeat that. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Opening the chest, keeping space around the neck. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, side angle. So either stay here or you can come down a little lower now, bringing your right hand to the inside of the right foot. Always keeping open across the chest and across your tummy so you're not squashing your bump. In one more big breath. And exhale, come back. Warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Turn the right toes in. You might need to bring your feet slightly closer together. Hands on your hips. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Now really keep that length as you tilt the hips and the tailbone up and back and reach forwards into your wide-legged forward fold. You can stay here, keeping that flat back, or you can release the hands down. Really, really good for the hamstrings and bringing circulation to the pelvis. But make sure that you've got that long spine so you're not crunching around the belly. Maybe you bring the hands to the outside edges of the feet. And bring the hands down, slowly come up, halfway. Turn the toes in, the heels in, and then you're lifting up to your goddess pose. So again, lovely around the hips, really sink into the hips. Then you're going to inhale to straighten and exhale to bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. We'll stay here. See if you can come up onto the tiptoes so you're testing your balance. One more big breath. And exhale, release. Lift the arms up. Open the left toes and you're coming into your warrior two on the other side. Sinking into the hips, hips are open and the left knee doesn't knock in. It's right over the left ankle. If you feel it knocking in, push the right hip forwards. Flip your front palm, reach forwards, up and back, reverse warrior. Inhale into the left side of the body. Exhale, forearm to thigh, extended side angle. Open the chest, relax your neck. Repeat that. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, release down. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, release down. Either stay here or bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot. You're sinking into the hips a little more. Keep that back leg super strong. Okay, from here you're going to reach the right arm over and lower down onto your right knee. Come into a low lunge. And from here you're going to lift the hips up and back over your right knee and straighten the left leg. Left toes are pointing up to the ceiling. The left quad is really strong. You're finding length in the spine. Just going to take a little few pulses. So inhale, bend into your hips, sink into your hips, and exhale, release back. Inhale, sink down. Exhale, release back. Inhale, sink down. Exhale, release back. And last one, inhale, sink down. Bring your hands to the inside of the right foot, coming into lizard. Lovely one for the hips. So either staying up on the palms of the hands or coming down onto your forearms. You're lifting the chest, just sinking into the hips. Keep length in the spine so you've got that space around your belly. Maybe you tuck the toes under and come up to your high lizard. And then what can feel really nice is if you rock forwards and back and ease into the hips, maybe take a few circles. And release the knee back down, come back up onto your hands. Toe heel the right foot over and you're coming into your pigeon. Left knee releases down, the right leg straightened out. You're sinking into the hips. Either staying up on the hands, lifting up, you should feel this around your left glute, or you're coming forwards. So I'm finding it not that comfortable to come forwards anymore on my tummy, so I'm keeping upright from now. But you might feel like it's really nice to relax around the shoulders. So just staying here as long as you can. Normally in a full class we'll stay here for a good couple of minutes. Really good for the glutes. When you're ready, come back into your downward facing dog. So bring the left foot back. And inhale, lift the left leg up again, open the hips. And exhale, step in between your hands. We're coming into a Skandasana. So hips are open, both knees are tracking straight over the middle toes. The right toe is flexed up. You can be on your heel. I can't be on my heel anymore, so I'm coming up on the ball of the foot. Most important thing is you're keeping that chest lifted. Lovely one for the inner thighs, for the groin. And if you want to, you can balance here as well. Then bring your hands down, walk over to the right. So sinking into the hips, keeping the chest lifted. Maybe you balance. Again, watching those knees straight over the middle toe. Then bring the hands down, walk around to the right. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot and you lower down onto your left knee. And you're inhaling, you're straightening back, flexing the right leg, the right foot. Exhaling down. Inhaling, straighten, really pull up the quad. Exhale, release down. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. And then coming into lizard from here. So either staying up on the palms of the hands or you're lowering onto forearms. Hug the outer right hip in and then lift the left leg maybe. And then if you want to take some little rocks forwards and back, some little circles with the hips. That can feel lovely. And releasing the knee, coming back up onto the hands, toe heeling that foot over to the left, sinking down into your pigeon. So making sure the right knee is wider than the hip, and the left leg is hugging to the middle of the body. Either staying up or you're releasing down. I have to stay up now. Again, feeling this around your right glutes, so the front glutes. Staying here for as long as you can, as long as you need, and try not to hold around the hips. Try and really let go. That's why if you can, it's quite nice to be on your forearms so that you're relaxed around the upper body and the shoulders. And then from here, you're turning around to the front. The left foot is coming over. You're coming into a cow pose. So this is a kind of, think of a pretzel. So you can have both feet a little wider if that feels better, or bringing them close in towards the body. The left arm, so opposite way, is coming underneath the right. So you're coming into an eagle arm pose. This is lovely for the shoulders. So you should feel this spreading the back muscles and the outer left hip. You should feel it around your glutes as well. And then release, swap over. So right arm underneath the left. And lifting tall through the spine. And again, you might need to play around with where that right foot is so it's not hugging in too much to your belly. And then release. Spread the legs. So as wide as you can for a wide-legged forward fold. Now this might be enough to just have your hands down and lengthen through the spine. You might want to come forward, but be really careful that you're not hunching over your bump. You want to be always thinking of how we can create more space for the baby in the belly. So just moving a little forwards maybe, but always keeping the spine long. So you're always thinking, is this creating more space? Is this making it easier or harder to breathe? If it's harder, then come back. A lovely one for the groin, the inner thighs. And then walk the hands up. Bring the soles of the feet together. Thumbs to the insides. You're bringing the fingers around the outsides of the feet. Just allowing the knees to drop down, the spine to lift, and the chest to open. Shoulders away from the ears. Just sinking down into your sitting bones. If this is too much, remember you can always bring your feet slightly further forwards. You can bring your hands behind your back. And when you're ready, bring your feet cross-legged. And we'll just take a neck release to finish. So bring your right hand to the right side, left arm lifts up and over. So getting a lovely side stretch. Soften the right ear down and breathe into the left side of the body. And keeping the head and neck where it is, reaching the left arm over to that point where you'll feel a lovely stretch in the neck. If you want to, you can always gently guide the head over a little. And place the head back up. Other side, so reach the right arm up and over, open the chest, soften the neck, breathe into the right side of the body. And you can lift the arm back and over, maybe guide the head a little further to the left. And come back so that your spine is long, big shoulder shrug, and release. And if you want to just take a few moments, you can just take some deep breaths in seated, or you can come down to a Shavasana but on your side. There you go. Hope you enjoy it. Do that every day, and hopefully your hips and your glutes will feel a bit better.